Hi guys, this is the Work Logic, and I am Harish, joined by Abhishek. This is going to be a cricket special episode. Today we are going to discuss about the mainly about the India tour of Sri Lanka, the squad. We're going to discuss the squad and also other topics that are related to it. This is the first time India is traveling to Sri Lanka under the new head coach Gautam Gambhir, who has been appointed very recently after the World Cup success. We'll just get going. Abhishek needs no introduction because we've already appeared in another cricket pod that where we discuss about the India's T20 World Cup victory and related topics. So I'll just jump right into the topic. So hi Abhi. Uh, just start. What are your thoughts on the squad? How do you see this?
Yeah, I think most of it was expected. The squad balance, we knew we would see a few new faces, and it's good to see Harshit Rana in the squad. I think he had a great IPL, and some things which I saw from him, it's really difficult to find from an Indian fast bowler. The variation that he had, and he consistently balls at good line, good pace. Yeah, he has some attitude issues, but you can brush it aside because he's really a good talent, and I hope he makes it. He gets his chances. But yeah, a few surprises, I would say. But from a personal opinion, I did expect that Gill would be made the vice captain. Um, as I mentioned in the previous pod which I appeared, right? So it's pretty clear they want to project him as an expecting for new cricket. But yeah, we will get into that. But in terms of the balance, I think it's pretty good. I'm expecting us to have a strong showing. Obviously, Rohit Kohli will be there, so I think we should not be losing even one match. I hope we don't lose one match because that's just in terms of the sheer quality between the two sides, it's just a huge gap. And obviously we have Siraj, so hopefully we bundle them out every time within 50. But yeah, I think a few uh, suspected omissions. I never thought Ruturaj would make the squad. I hope.
Hmm.
I always hope he makes it, but he's not. He's not made the squad. Um, and again, yeah, I think Sanju Samson is again, a different question altogether. He is not a consistent performer when it comes to ODIs or even international cricket. But again, people do get upset given that Riyan Parag is being included in the squad ahead of him. So yeah, many
Yeah.
questions, a few obvious ones given how our teams have been selected over the years, and it's no surprise seeing a few faces being consistently omitted from the squad. So yeah, I think we can first go with the T21, discuss, see what are we expecting, and then probably we can move to the ODI squad as well.
So we'll just take a look at the squads. Um, just a second. Let me share my
Yeah.
screen. This is the page, and we'll go through the T20 squad first. This is from Cricket Info. So, as reigning champions of the T20, the T20 World Cup, I think there's no question about Surya Kumar Yadav being made the captain. I think it's going to be a natural choice for the BCCI. Shubman Gill, as we already talked, it's giving him the vice captain ahead of Hardik Pandya has definitely raised a few eyebrows, especially uh, say that he was not even a part of the 15-member T20 World Cup winning squad. He was in the reserves, and then bringing him as a vice captain is definitely a questionable choice for me, at least in my opinion. Uh, and One of the most important things is Khalil Ahmed. He was included as the reserves in the T20 World Cup squad, and also now he's one of those fast bowlers who found his spot there. So I think we should touch down upon this, considering we had Harshdeep Singh who had an amazing World Cup. Um, so let's just talk about Khalil Ahmed and his inclusion because I don't think he had a really great World Cup, or, a really great IPL season or any subsequent T20 series that he played. So this is certainly a surprise for me that both Dravid and Gautam Gambhir has preferred him over any other fast bowler, say Natarajan, for example. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think in terms of Natarajan, right, he's always being omissioned. He had a great season down under in Australia, where he was kind of forced into the team
Mm,
rather than him being selected on his own merit. Um, he did perform pretty decently, given it was his first international series, international cricket in any form. But I've stopped expecting BCCI to include players like Natarajan or Ruturaj. I don't know why. I've never seen them, being even picked consistently for series where you would send your second string or in a second team to play. But yeah, in terms of Khalil Ahmed, he's one of those bowlers who on his day can be a good left arm bowler. He's got that classic left arm in swing in his locker. But then it's just so erratic. It's just so inconsistent. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like a Pandora box. You open one day, you get five wicket haul. Next day, you're leaking runs left, right, and
yeah.
center. So, I'm not sure whether he will play. Given you have Ashdeep Singh and Siraj, and
Yeah.
given that we're playing in Sri Lanka, it's going to be a spin friendly track
Mm,
almost everywhere you go. So I don't think he'll be there. And I also think, given it's under Gautam Gambhir, I do expect Harshit Rana to play at least one or two games. I
mm,
don't think he will start this series. I think it will be Ashdeep and Siraj. But given if we kind of win the series in the first two matches, if we have it in our bag, then you would probably see Harshit Rana getting one or two matches. But yeah, in terms of bowling, I think we're pretty set. We've got two, seamers. We have Siraj and Ashdeep, and I think
Steve.
pretty good for Sri Lanka's batting order. And then obviously you have Hardik Pandya, and then you come in your spinners, right? Washington Sundar and Bishnoi. So yeah, I think even Shivam Dube, we saw him, bowling a few overs, also taking a few wickets. I don't think he would bowl there, but to be honest, I don't see him bowling. Even I think we'll go with two uh, fast bowlers, which would be Siraj and Ashdeep. Three spinners, Patel, Washington, and Ravi Krishna, and then you obviously have Hardik Pandya as a sixth option. I think that is going to be the combination. But yeah, to be honest, I don't see Khalil Ahmed. I think it's just in there for filling the numbers. We had no Bumrah, we had no Shami, obviously. So I think that is there. But yeah, in terms of players like Natraj and Ruturaj, it's no fault of their own. I think both of them had a really great IPL. Rutu is someone who is getting 500 plus consistently over the last few years in the IPL, and Natarajan is someone who's got that variety in him. But yeah, I've stopped expecting PCC selecting these players whatsoever.
So, actually, talking about Hardik Pandya, I would like to ask: is there a case for him to be uh, made captain? Because why I'm asking this question is, say, for example, as it is clear by now that BCCI are grooming Shubman Gill to be the next big thing, or like the next captaincy material. Though I am not very much in line with that, but it seems so much that they are favoring Shubman Gill to be the captain, or to be the to be groomed as the next big captain. So that being said, doesn't it make more sense for Hardik Pandya to be made captain, given him being the vice captain for the Indian team in the T20 World Cup is one side, but say Gill has played under Hardik Pandya's captaincy in Gujarat Titans, where they had two really successful seasons. They were a juggernaut that took some extraordinary efforts of Chennai Super Kings to prevent them from winning their second title in a row. Obviously, Hardik Pandya moved to Mumbai, had his own issues, and then they had a very disastrous IPL. So that being one side, I think making Hardik Pandya as the captain and grooming Gill under Hardik Pandya would have been a even more wiser choice, given that both have already played for the same team. And we know, see, Hardik Pandya literally surprised me with his captaincy skills for Gujarat Titans. Be it, you can say that it's a team setting or the team surrounding that helped him win, or it is his individual. capacity or capability to win the title. That is a debatable topic. But again, he has done well as a captain. He did well as a vice captain. Then now he is completely omitted. So it's not like Surya is very younger than Hardik Pandya, so that he can be given a captaincy. We are preferring a young role. So it's not like that. Like, Hardik Pandya and Surya Kumar both are of a similar age, if I'm not wrong. So that being said, what are your thoughts? Like, it should have been Hardik Pandya, in my opinion, because that would have been the most logical suggestion that could have been given by BCCA, that could have been put forward by the selectors or the coach on the upcoming for the upcoming tours and the years that we are going to see under Gauti.
Yeah, I think that was a natural succession plan which we all thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because two things. One, if you see Hardik Pandya, he's been in the international circuit for more than 8 years. He's starting, he's played under Tony, he's played under Kohli, he's played under Rohit Sharma as well, and then he's had his own stint with Gujarat, where I have to say that Gujarat team is probably one of those teams which you don't expect to
Hmm.
make two finals in a row, win one of them, and almost come close to winning the second. You have players like Ridhiman Saha, David Miller, Vijay Shankar, and it was not the strongest team, at least on paper. But the way he just managed, the his resources, the way he just consistently got the best out of his players. I know a lot could be down to his support staff, mainly Ashish Nehra, who would see, always on the touchline, talking, communicating his ideas onto the team. But when, as a player, you have worked under, captains like Dhoni, Kohli, Rohit, and then been as a captain, won the IPL, came to finals two times in a row, being consistent, you expected this guy is going to be the next captain
Yeah.
after Rohit Sharma, and probably even if he had his uh, bowling back, he could be three formats captain altogether. That was the plan. That was what I thought would happen. But again, coming to Suryakumar Yadav, he has also played under a lot of different captains, but again, in terms of experience, I don't think he's been a captain for more
Yeah.
than 10 games in his career. I'm not sure what is the reasoning behind this. Is this something which Hardik Pandya himself has said that I don't want to be the captain, or is it going to be something temporary where for this series alone,
I
Sky is
hope
the
it's
captain?
temporary. I hope it's temporary.
Yeah, love him or hate him, Pandya is, we've got someone like Pandya for a long time in Indian cricket.
Yeah.
To be really honest, we people talk about Bumrah being, irreplaceable. I think if not irreplaceable, Pandya comes close to that category of being irreplaceable.
Yeah. So he's the first, like a genuine, not a genuine fast bowler, but he was, since Kapil Dev, he was the one a proper all rounder, fast bowling all rounder that we had. Like, and also I think we missed him a lot in last year's 50 over World Cup. He could have been like that dynamic player where we could have got an extra batting option, and then could have gone like just like the 2019 World Cup squad. We had some 7 to 8 batting options every game. So I think we missed him, and he's really dynamic. I would love to see him captain the Indian side, because I think he's the right person for the T20, at least for the T20s. So let's see. And also, I would that takes me to the next question, which is Abhishek Sharma. Like, someone for someone who had outstanding IPL, like nobody expected him to go like ballistic. Then come just 2 weeks back, he scored a fantastic 100, like a 47 ball 100. Then you see the Sri Lankan squad, which Sri Lanka are better than Zimbabwe, but they are not as good as Australia or South Africa or in England. So it could have been a really good stepping stone for him play Zimbabwe. then play Sri Lanka, and then play anyone. Say, I think there's a New Zealand T20 series coming up like in September
Hmm.
or October. So
Yeah.
that could have been perfect for him to establish himself. And again, so when you talk about Abhishek Sharma, who does he replace in this squad? Like before we go through everyone, I think there are two wicketkeeper batsmen as there should be, Sanju Samson and Rishabh Pant for the T20s. Then we have Washington Sundar and Akshar Patel as the bowling all-rounders, which is fine. Yeah, off spinner, right arm off spinner and left arm off spinner. And
Hmm.
also we have Ravi Bishnoi as a pure bowler, so I think Akshar Patel and Ravi Bishnoi make it to the squad, the starting 11. So looking at that, who would he replace? Because you have to keep in mind that Abhishek Sharma is also a left-arm bowler who is capable of bowling 4 overs. So where does he fit in this squad? Is it a case for to remove Khalil Ahmed, or we think we need three fast bowlers? I think three fast bowlers will be enough. Either of Harshit Rana or Khalil Ahmed would have to be omitted for Abhishek Sharma to get his place, because I don't know who are going to be the openers of the team. I'm not sure. So like there's so many questions that are unanswered.
Yeah. So in terms of Abhishek, one thing which really kind of bemused me is the fact that he got 100 and the next game he was demoted to number three in Zimbabwe. I'm not sure what was the uh, reasoning behind that to get Jaiswal and Gill to open and then you put him number three. I don't get that. He's not that kind of a batter, who you can
Mm,
juggle within the order. He's not someone like a Ruturaj, who can be that flexible, player who can fit in anywhere. He's not that. He is a pure opener, and I don't, I really don't understand why that happened. Demoting him just literally the next game after he scored 100.
yeah,
But yeah, in terms of, I expected him to be in the squad, to be honest, because he played really well. But him replacing, right, given that he can bowl at least a few overs of decent left arm spin, he could come in place of Washington Sundar because you
yeah,
see Washington as someone who, you know, you select him more for the batting depth than his bowling,
yeah. Right.
right?
Uh,
You see him as we will give those 10, 20 runs and probably, bowl a few overs in the power play.
mm,
And you compare him with Abhishek Sharma, who, you know, on his day, he can win you the match within the first 6 overs.
yeah. True.
So, yeah, so I think he would come if he was there. I would think I would have him in place of Washington Sundar, who has gone under the radar. He had this huge name around him, especially after that BGT tour where he had some really good knocks. But then since then he's been kind of average, to be honest. He doesn't get those consistent game times in IPL as well, and it's difficult, right? Say giving there is not a standout capability to him, be it
Mm,
as batting or if it is batting, can he give you, let's say, a good cameo, 5 ball 10 runs, 10 ball 20 runs, or can he take those wickets consistently? You don't get that. He's economical, yes. He could put some pressure on the batsman, he could control the run rate, so on and so forth, but does he give you does he give you wickets, or does he give you some 10-20 runs at a 200 strike rate? He doesn't. And in T20, nowadays it's more about how quickly you do things. Initially people used to think that one guy should be playing that sheet anchor role, but now it's more about everyone comes in, has that 15 ball 30, 20 ball 30, goes away, next guy comes in, does the same. So it's more about keeping the score ticking and taking the wickets regularly. It's kind of with Washington, it's more of square pegs and round holes. So it's difficult to see what he has for Indian cricket. I don't see him making it. to the squad. I know he's here, but in terms of the real series, the real cricket, uh, until he, unless he does something magical, turns his skills around, gets something new into his armory, I don't think he's gonna take a place in the squad.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for Abhishek to replace Washington. I agree with your point. So moving on, I think we have discussed about the squad. So and also he said we had to
So, what
win
would be
all the
the
games.
starting 11?
Yeah, starting 11 would be Gill
You
and
can think
SSV
of Green
Jaiswal.
again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll do it.
yeah. I think it's pretty clear these two guys are going to be the mainstay in terms of opening. It's
Yeah,
obviously a left and right combination.
yeah, yeah.
That's important.
So it'll be Gill and Jaiswal opening. The number three will be Surya Kumar Yadav or Rishabh Pant. Whatever they like, three and four will be Surya and Rishabh Pant. That would make a four. I think the case for
Just for
Dubey.
just for continuity's sake, let's say Rishabh Pant is at three. That's what he did
Yeah,
at World Cup,
three.
right? Yeah.
Sky is at
Right,
four.
that's fine.
Then Dubey, Rinku, 5 and
Mhm.
6. Pandya at
Mhm.
7. Then Aksar
Mhm.
at 8.
Mhm.
9, 10, 11 will be Bishnoi, Arshdeep, and
Mhm.
Siraj.
So we battle eight, battle Akshay Patel. That's a
Yeah,
pretty good
yeah, yeah.
batting too, yes.
I think for T20, we need at least eight
Mhm.
people who can bat, come score 20 or 30 runs. It shouldn't be
Mhm.
without any depth because even in 50-over format, it has uh, changed. Like, we definitely need minimum seven batsmen, specialist batsmen to give a competitive score, or else we saw what
Mhm.
happened in the
Yeah,
2023
19th
final. So
November. Yeah.
19, yeah, same. So we had only six specialist batsmen and Jadeja. So
Hmm.
that won't be working fine every time. So I
Yeah,
think uh,
it's interesting that we have Jaiswal, Pant, Shivam Dubey,
Rinku,
Rinku, and Akshay, five
Aksar, yeah,
left-handers.
five left-handers.
That's
Uh,
that's unlike Indian cricket, but yeah, I
yeah,
think that could be become a problem, but their skill sets kind of are beyond
yeah. Then
these.
then you see you have Gautam as head coach and Abhishek Nair as batting coach, who are also left-handed batsmen. So I think
Abhishek
it
was
makes sense.
left-handed. I think that's
Abhishek
right-handed. No?
Abhishek Nair is left-handed batsman, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
He played for, I remember he played for Mumbai and Pune
Mumbai,
for
yeah.
the IPL I've seen.
Mm,
Yeah, so I think he's a left-handed batsman too.
yeah. Yeah,
So,
that's interesting. Given we have been dominant right hand
mm,
dominant batting sides, but
the thing is, we lost two of our best right-handed batsmen, Rohit and Kohli, so we had to
yeah,
replace them with one at least with the left-handed batsman. I think this is a good team, good enough to
I think it's more
win.
than enough to comfortably in Sri Lanka.
Yeah, 3-0. But
Yeah.
again, we'll get someone new. Like every time we go there, we meet someone new. He comes, he gets wickets, and suddenly the Sri Lankan bowler just disappears off the air. We had Akila Dhananjaya in 2017,
Mm,
who really got a five-wicket haul in one game. Then Dhoni and Bhuvi had to win that game. Then
mm.
I think Jeffrey Vandersay did well the last time we went in 2021. I
Yeah,
think he was
even
another
in the Asia Cup, you had the uh, I forgot his first name, Vellalage. I think Dunit Vellalage or something.
Dunit
He was
Vellalage.
the
Yeah, again.
under 19 captain. He did pretty
Yeah,
well. But yeah, every time we go there, there is this spinner. I think one
yeah,
good thing with Sri Lanka is the consistent pipeline that they have.
yeah.
Good
Spinner, but
spinners.
they're not consistent bowlers. Like,
Yeah.
Akila Dhananjay is nowhere to be seen now.
Hmm.
I don't know. Udunit Vellalage, I
Yeah,
think he
there
played the
is.
last.
Yeah, there is a case I think we might struggle against spin. I
Hmm,
see, a few players there kind of weak against spin. I've
yeah.
not seen the best of Shubman Gill against spin.
Hmm,
Even Jaiswal sometimes against spin,
yeah.
right? So yeah, then Rishabh Pant he does take his risk against spin bowlers, but it may backfire as well. So yeah, I think Sri Lanka might fancy their chances, but again, it's very tough for them.
It's always they have done.
Let's look at their squad. No, Sri Lanka. What is their squad? I didn't look at it.
I think the squad is not yet announced because you can see
Announced.
this space. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't think
yeah.
it's announced. And then
Hmm.
yeah, we'll just move on to the ODI squad now.
Yeah.
India's ODI squad. I think we have Rohit Sharma again back as a captain,
Yeah.
and Virat Kohli is there.
Iyer is back. Iyer and
Yeah,
Rahul are
yeah.
back.
Shreyas Iyer and Rahul are back, which I don't know how to take
I
it.
think Harshit Rana is in the ODI
Arshit
squad and
Rana,
not the
yeah, he's
T20 squad.
yes, he's there in both the squads.
I
So
didn't see him in the T20 squad though.
he was there.
Was he? I was not. I'm not sure. Did I see his? Anyways, side note, I didn't expect West Indies to hit 400. Take the lead,
Yeah,
basically.
they took the lead. Then they're chasing 319. So
They
most probably they'll
they'll not. Yeah.
yeah.
See,
So
there is
yeah,
no Harshit
there's
Rana here. I think
no
he's in the
yeah
ODI squad. Or
yeah
is it
he's
a
in the
mistake?
ODI squad. Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
that makes uh, Khalil Ahmed's selection kind of sensible.
Possible. Yeah.
Yeah, because they are going with three specialist fast bowlers:
Mm.
Siraj,
Mm.
Arshdeep, and Khalil. So yeah, mm, let me go there.
I think ODI is pretty set. Yeah.
What is something we always expected?
Yeah.
Uh,
I think again we expected Iyer to come back.
hmm,
Expected Rahul to come back. Obviously, I think both of them had a good World Cup, except for the last game, obviously.
yeah,
Uh, but yeah, I think in terms
this
of
was a
the
set.
balance, again, it's pretty much the same. Great batting depth. Obviously, we are not going with our two main bowlers in Bumrah and Shami for obvious reasons. But yeah, I think even here, our bowling is strong enough to
Hmm.
defend.
Yeah, we also
Although,
have Rian
Mhm.
Parag in both ODI and T20 squads. He had a great domestic tournament last year, so I think that is one of the factors that the selectors that made the
I think
selectors go for Parag.
yeah, and I think he's more of a confidence player. You see these terms being floated around that there are these players who need confidence,
Mm.
good form, right? And Parag is someone who I suspect that he is one of those kind where you need to give him that confidence, that string of games, 5 to 10 games, even where he doesn't do well. You want him in the team, but yeah, I don't see him getting some game time here. But yeah, let's see what he can do. But
Also,
again,
there is no Hardik Pandya in the ODI squad for some reason.
yeah, that is,
That's
they want to test his bowling if he can bowl 10 overs. I think they want him to
mm,
play the Vijay Hazare Trophy.
mm,
Let's to see how he copes with his bowling. But yeah, I think it's pretty important going into the Champions Trophy to see whether we can have him for
yeah.
batting as well as
If
him bowling 10 overs.
if we go to the Champions Trophy, that has to be
If
because
the
it's in
Champions Trophy
Pakistan.
happens in Pakistan, if it
Yeah,
happens in Pakistan,
if it happens in
there's
Pakistan and if we go there,
yeah,
probably. Yeah. So I think it's good for Hardik Pandya to because after that Bangladesh game where he got injured and I don't think he played any more ODIs. I don't think Indian
no.
team except for the South Africa ODIs they didn't play any other ODIs. So I don't think it will be Sri Lanka might have been a good side for him to make a comeback. But again, okay, with more time for him to prepare and come back, it's just fine for me.
But But in the World Cup, the first 3 or 4 games, he did ball his 10 overs, no? Or at least seven to
No,
eight
he didn't
overs.
bowl. Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't bowl.
that's interesting because if at that time he was ready to bowl 7 8 overs,
Mm,
what happened in the following 7 to 8 months that now they want to test his bowling again? He bowled almost all of his overs in all the matches in the T20 World Cup. He
mm,
looked good. There was no problem. Why do you want him to suddenly play the Vijay Hazare Trophy just to see if he
yeah,
can bowl 10 overs? He was
Yeah,
doing this
those.
9 months back
Yeah.
before he got injured, obviously. But then since then, he okay. I understand the injury might be a reason, but again, imagine yourself to be Hardik Pandya. You're the vice captain of the T20 World Cup winning side, and then you want your vice captain to be playing Vijay Hazare Trophy. By no means, no disrespect, but again, players have these issues. We saw this with Ishan Kishan, where he was told to go play Ranji and so on. He didn't play, and you may agree or disagree with him, but people do say you should go and play these kinds of cricket. But when you get into that international setup, and when you're a key player in the international setup, would you really take that? I understand he got injured while bowling, but before that he was doing pretty well. He bowled in the IPL consistently. He bowled in the T20 World Cup consistently. If you want to test him, why not test him here?
Yeah.
So I don't
Because
get
this
that.
is
Yeah.
the place, yeah, this is the squad where you have enough bowling depth that you can even go with 6 or 7 bowling options, and still, if Pandya is not able to finish his 10 overs, then there won't be any problem because you always have a good backup options. Like if you are to name the playing 11, then go with Rohit Sharma, or are you naming
Yeah.
yours in the T20 for the ODIs?
I think Sharma and Gill would be opening, obviously.
Hmm.
Uh, that's what we saw in the World Cup.
Yeah,
Then obviously Kohli will come one down.
number 3.
Then I think you'll have KL Rahul come in, number 4. Then you have Shreyas Iyer, number 5.
5. Punt.
I think that that
6.
that can be uh, or Iyer at
Standard.
3 and Rahul at 4, or maybe they can even try punt at number 3. Who knows? Take
Yeah,
T20
but
and
I don't think it
into
makes
World
sense
Cup.
for T20.
Yeah.
It would make sense. I think I would like punt to play the Raina role, like whatever Raina did for India in the ODIs. No, say be it at the 2011 World Cup or the 2015 World Cup, where he had a really good World Cup in 2015. So I think that would make sense because he's someone who can accelerate his innings, just like Raina. A good player of spin, even though say you lost 3 wickets, then still either of Iyer or Punt can take down the spinners at given any moment of the game. So I think it would be good. Say we have the 5 players, or is it Rishabh Pant or KL Rahul in the team because both are wicketkeeper batsmen. We
Yeah.
saw KL Rahul in the squad because Rishabh Pant was injured. So if Pant is fit now, as he is now, would you take Pant in place of KL Rahul, who makes it the number 5 batsman? Then you'll go with uh, who else is there?
Suryakumar is
Yeah,
not in the ODI.
who? Yeah, Shivan Dubey is there in the ODI squad.
No, no. Sky. Suryakumar is not there.
No, he's not there. So I think it will be number 6. So Shivam Dubey is there. Probably he can play the Hardik Pandya role, but I don't think he will bowl all 10 overs. He doesn't even bowl his 4 overs in T20s. So again, it will
I
be
think
up
that's it.
to
Yeah,
Akshar
that's
Patel.
interesting. Rahul and Pant, that dynamic.
I think they
Because
both have to play because that will make six batsmen.
hmm,
You'll go with number
given
7.
given Pandya is not there, I think both will play. But Pandya, when eventually he'll come in, one has to drop, and I am suspecting that would be KL
KL.
Rahul.
Yeah.
Simply because it's Rishabh Pant. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, if both are playing, then I think then we'll have Akshar Patel come in as your pure all rounder, and then you'll have your bowlers, right? Siraj, Kuldeep will be there, obviously, and then I think Ashdeep is there, right? So Ashdeep will also play.
Yeah, so that will
Ashdeep is
be
there.
Kuldeep, number 8, Arshdeep 9, Siraj 10, and
Siraj
there'll
10.
be one more, either of
I
Khalil or
think I think
Yashwant Rahul.
Washington Sundar might come in.
Then you'll have 3 spinners. Yeah,
The batting depth gives you the depth,
batting
right?
depth. Yeah.
Yeah, or might go with Harshit Rana. Who knows?
Mm.
Give him a chance as an as a newcomer. So yeah,
Yeah, but we have all known that Sri Lanka is predominantly a slow wicket. Almost all the wickets that we have seen in Sri Lanka has been
slow. Yeah,
slow. Few games have been rain affected. So it definitely there is more onus on the spin than the fast bowling. So I think Washington. So that will be Rohit Sharma, Gill, Kohli, Iyer, Shreyas Iyer, Rahul Pant, uh,
Akshar.
Akshar, Washington, Kuldeep, then two bowlers Harshdeep and Siraj. So
Yeah,
that would be a good. That would be good.
yeah. So, but then it's just five bowlers, right? Or
No,
no,
we have
six.
yeah, it's just five bowlers here.
Yeah, that is that is one thing. So
Mm,
no, we have oh yeah, five bowlers, three spinners and two fast bowlers.
yeah.
That is one thing. I think that is where we're lacking in the squad. But again, it's just prepping up for the Champions Trophy. Pandya would come in, then one of Rahul or
You can say
Pant
KL
would drop.
Rahul.
It would work on.
So if KL Rahul drops off, then we'll be having six people who can bat well. Then we'll have. But is Washington?
Yeah.
So in this squad, you have to ask if Washington Sundar is going to be a permanent stay because, including him, say if Washington Sundar is replaced by Hardik Pandya, then again we'll go with the five bowlers. Say KL Rahul and Hardik Pandya will be playing if Washington Sundar goes. But there are no other options for a all rounder, a pure all rounder. Then again you'll see Shivam Dube as a guy who is finishing who plays the finishing role or something. Then again it gets
Hmm.
messed up. So is Washington Sundar is a player like Washington Sundar the mainstay? Say for example, who can, as I said, who can give some 10 ball 20, then who can bowl some for a. He has done reasonably good in T20s, be it in the IPL or be it in the T20 internationals. But we haven't seen much of Washington Sundar in uh, the ODIs. I don't remember seeing him because as much as Jadeja has done for the team, you could also have Jadeja because he hasn't retired from the ODI squad yet. So Jadeja is an option as well in
Yeah.
place of Washington Sundar.
I think the
So
template is
so
fixed in
these
terms of
things
having six bowlers.
these things can these things say that this is completely a temporary setup. You'll have Jasprit Bumrah back. You'll have Jadeja back for the ODIs.
I think
Then
Shami will also
also,
be back
yeah, Shami
in
will also
time.
be
Champions Trophy. Yeah.
yeah, Shami will also be there for the ICC tournaments. So that takes me back to the initial question. So if these are temporary, would you say that giving captaincy to Surya Kumar Yadav uh, is also a temporary thing where Hardik Pandya takes care of the captaincy and Surya Kumar can become the vice captain for the T20s because only Bumrah and Kuldeep come back. You get another strong squad for the T20 internationals when you play against big squads like New Zealand or Australia or South Africa. So again, I would ask if is Gill going to be the next thing, or until these experienced players are there around, you'll focus on winning a trophy more than grooming the next player. Say Gill is removed from the vice captaincy, Hardik Pandya becomes a captain, and Surya Kumar Yadav becomes the vice captain for the next T20 World Cup or for the next bilateral series against a big squad. It is it is possible, right? Or for the Asia Cup, if it's decided to be a T20 tournament, anything can happen.
You know, given given how BCCI has been moving in the past month or so, if Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli are there in the squad,
Hmm.
that is the only case where Shubman Gill will not be a captain or vice captain. That is what I think.
Makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So
Only until even now we see he's the vice captain for the ODI squad, and you have Kohli and Rohit Sharma there. So that itself is a statement. If you read between the lines, that is a statement, right? You have players. You have Rishabh Pant who could be a obvious choice for a captaincy or even a vice captain candidate, but still you're sticking with Shubman Gill. So. if there is Rohit Sharma and Kohli, only then, he'll not be a captain or vice captain.
Vice captain. Yeah.
If they are not there, he will be in one of those two roles. Pretty obvious. That is becoming pretty evident in the way how BCCI has been, kind of going about things. In terms of Suryakumar being the T20 captain, I hope it's temporary. I hope he does well, obviously. And
Hmm.
winning in Sri Lanka, I don't think he would need much effort there, to be really honest. But going ahead, if it does well, then okay, fine. We got a new captain. But if it does not, then we have an obvious, captaincy candidate. But even then, when Pandya comes in as a captain, I don't think Sky will be the vice captain. It will be Shubman Gill as the vice
Shubman
captain.
Gill. Okay.
Yeah.
So talking about Shubman Gill, we have to talk about Rutraj. Rutraj
Mhm.
is someone like I'm asking what else should Rutraj do in order
Mhm.
to be a part of the squad, because I think he's Gill, as much as he's talented, as much as he's a classy player, for all the run records that he has, the double century in ODIs or the highest run getter, whatever it may be, for
Mhm.
his IPL performance. I think Ruturaj is also in that level, at least in my opinion. I'm a CSK fan, so it might be a bias or something. I don't care. But Ruturaj, on his day, is absolutely phenomenal. That is, he is class, but I don't know. He has won us a gold medal in the Asian Games, which shouldn't have been a tough thing. But for how India was performing at these tournaments, no, like tournaments of importance, uh, we won it. We didn't play the final. It was rain affected. We got the gold medal. So all the boundaries were small. We had all these IPL stars playing there. Everything that can be considered, but for you to not include Rutraj in both ODIs and the T20s, despite having a really good domestic tournament. I don't know, like because Gill did not have a domestic run like Rutraj had last year, because he was obviously part of the Indian team. He scored a lot of runs up until the World Cup. He was the highest run getter. He was going for Sachin's record, so whatever he did in 1998. He was going for the record. If he had a good World Cup, say like how Iyer or Kohli had, he would have definitely broken that record. There is no doubt about that. But you could have Ruturaj in that squad for all the experience. He's 2 years older. He is been a mainstay for Chennai Super Kings. He's now the captain of Chennai Super Kings, a huge franchisee with a lot of legacy, filling in the shoes of MS Dhoni. All that being said, I don't know. It's ridiculous for them not to include Ruturaj. I don't know.
See, two things. Like one is having him the squad just for namesake.
Hmm.
That is what they've been doing with Sanju Samson.
Yeah.
Just have him in the squad. Second is having him in the squad and actually playing him.
Yeah.
Now, if you're having someone of Ruturaj's quality, he should be playing every game.
Yeah.
Unless you're in a position where you've won the series or the matches of no importance or whatsoever. But in terms of him being, you know, not selected, I think it was pretty obvious, given how BCCI has been selecting the squads. But he is, I would say, unfortunate to
Hmm.
be in a position where you have to compete with so many
Gill,
players.
Jaiswal. Yeah.
Gill, Jaiswal, Abhishek Sharma, even now Rohit Sharma and Kohli will be there, and then you have Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul. Given that he can play, three or four different positions. In terms of technique, I think he's up there.
Hmm.
Be it the spinners, be it the fast bowlers. Yes, he has a weakness against fast bowlers, similar to how Kohli has that fourth,
Outside
fifth
of,
off
yeah.
outside of, right. That is there obviously, but if you just take away, everyone has their weakness. Shubman Gill has that ball which comes in, he leaves that gap between bat and bat, that is there with him. But again, everyone has their own weakness. But in terms of technique, in terms of temperament in terms of getting runs consistently. And as a batsman, even if you say that records don't matter, he's been getting 500 plus for the last 3 to 4 seasons
Yeah.
consistently, right? If that is not enough, as you said, I don't know what he needs to do. Captaincy was decent with CSK. They had a few injuries. They had to deal with a few injuries. That is okay, but they had an average season, to be honest.
Hmm.
But it's just unfortunate that BCCI has this idea to kind of
Go for Gill.
groom Gill, and it's just unfortunate that they have to leave him. It's just unfortunate. I don't see any other reason why he's not in the squad.
So considering Rohit Sharma, considering Champions Trophy next year is going to be Rohit Sharma's last ODI tournament, or see, say let's say is what 38, 39. So it suppose if it is his last tournament, then there will be a case for Yashasvi Jaiswal to fill up the opening spot alongside Gill, and then we'll
Mm.
be having other any other player in number three. And still, I don't think we'll be seeing Ruturaj Gaikwad in that setup also. Even Kohli might play till 2027. I don't know, probably. But in Rohit Sharma's absence, I think again this guy SSV Jaiswal might be getting the position, most probably. So it is going to be unfortunate. It is not even that he is like how in football. For those who watch football, you say there were so many talented midfielders for this Spanish national team from 2008 to 12, but they could not go past Iniesta, Xavi, and Busquets. So that could also be the case for someone like Rutraj when you compare it here. For all the talent he has, he cannot find a place because opening spot is just for two players. Number three is for one player, and one is filled by Gill, who is going to be the next big thing, or who is already established batsman, and then one is for the king. Then there is only one spot left where you can obviously when you can go for a left-right combination, you won't prefer someone like Rutraj, right? So it is going to be really unlucky for him, really
Yeah,
unfortunate for him, unless he
but
has
not we
extraordinary.
can't we can't take away his class. You
Yeah.
know, I've I just enjoy watching him bat,
Hmm.
not just the first 6 overs.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy him watching bat after the first 6 overs.
Yeah.
Some of the
Uh,
shots which he
hmm.
played, I remember. I think it was one was against Pat Cummins.
Hmm.
The way he just picks up, the short ones, the bouncer. It's almost as as beautiful as Rohit Sharma does it. But yeah,
Yeah.
I
The
think it's just
last.
unfortunate he's in this position.
I think yeah, his best innings with CSK was undoubtedly for me was against Lucknow Super Giants and Chepauk, which
Mhm.
CSK lost. But that
Yeah.
was the most classiest 100 that he has ever scored. Gill also scored three, 400s, 300s, I think, 2023, which were also really good. The
Mm.
one in qualifier two against
One
Mumbai was
is Mumbai.
outstanding.
Yeah.
Outstanding, no. But again, he is able to match Gill stride for stride like in everything, like in terms of playing on all phases of the game. So I think there is nothing that you take.
Differentiates.
Uh, yeah, there is little no
The only
margin between
thing
both of them.
the only thing which Gill has is age over Ruturaj.
Yeah, but again, see, up until 40, you have players who can play in cricket. It's not like
Mm.
football where you just dip after a certain age. You can still
Mm.
go on. You can still cricket is this dynamic game where one player can do just one role exceptionally well that the other 10 players can accommodate
Yeah.
accordingly.
Now
We're seeing that we are seeing
take
that
Rohit
with
Sharma.
we're seeing that with
He,
Dhoni in IPL for CSK.
mm.
Like
Mm.
he doesn't, his batting is not like what it used to be up until 2019 or 2018. He bats, but it's not like that. But again, the remaining 10 players or the batsmen who come in the pecking order behind him, sorry, before him, do adjust accordingly, and Dhoni comes and he
Hmm.
just scores few boundaries, and it's all the team needs. So I
Hmm.
think you doing one thing exceptionally well doesn't make you any lesser than someone else who performs consistently on all three departments. So I think the age won't be a factor because he's 26 or 27. Gill is 24 now.
I
It is
think
not
Rutraj
much
is
of a difference.
28 or 29, I guess. Not sure.
No, I think it's 27. I'm also not sure. So
Yeah.
that being said, it's not much of a difference between them. Again,
Hmm.
we have to see if he gets selected.
The
Maybe he can get selected for the Bangladesh tour that is coming up or the New Zealand tour that is after that. So there are a lot of chances still for Rutraj. It's up to him to prove because.
situation where I can see him playing is if Shreyas Iyer does not perform.
Hmm. But again, I don't think that he's an established opening batsman, and then he's played few games at number three position. Other than that, I don't think he'll. He's not as versatile as KL Rahul. We have seen
Yeah.
KL Rahul prove in multiple positions, so I think KL Rahul would take that spot. And we'll
Hmm.
have others like Pant and Pandya to come up, Aksar, Jadeja. There is
Yeah.
a whole different thing. I think for Rutraj, the best is opening on number three.
Yeah, I think you mentioned KL Rahul, and I always remember KL Rahul in Punjab
Hmm.
in IPL. People, I think even I forget sometimes the way he used to play. He used to score 50s for fun within 16, 17 balls.
He had the
And
record for the fastest 50 14 balls. That was then
yeah,
bit broken by SSV 13 balls. So I think
I think one thing about him is just he has that in him. As an opener, if you want him to be that explosive, he can play against any bowler, absolutely any bowler. But I don't know where that kind of is it from himself or is it from the management that they want him to play that anchor role or be the guy who plays till the 14th or 15th over. But go back 3 to 4 years, see him, you watch him play for Punjab and you just see a completely different. And it's not these modern T20 shots where you play that scoop or river. It's all classical shots.
yeah,
It's everything is just textbook proper cricketing shots, and he just used to score 50s and 60s in 20 balls. Beat spinners. I remember him absolutely bashing Amit Mishra all over the ground. One game, I think, again
that
Delhi,
was
I guess.
the
But
14 ball 50. That was the
yeah,
game
exactly,
in power play.
exactly. And it's just, I don't. I think it's just unfortunate that see, this thing has happened to him where he became the cap. I think becoming the captain, you get that. Kind of responsibility in him that
He
he
was
wants to stay till
he
the
was still
end.
the captain of Punjab. 2018 after Ashwin uh, uh, he left. I mean, like 2018. Yeah, Ashwin was the
Hmm.
captain for Punjab in
Hmm.
2018. Then 2019, I don't think he was the captain. I think KL Rahul took over. I'm not sure, but yeah, 2019, 2020, 2021, all these 3 years, I
Hmm.
think KL was the captain. Yeah, because 2020 Ashwin moved to DC and KL was given the
Hmm.
captaincy. And 2020 he was the Orange Cap winner in IPL.
I know
He's
he's been unfortunate with injuries, obviously, but I just love that version of KL Rahul. It's just beautiful, beautiful
he
cricketer.
improved his keeping and impressed in the 50 over World Cup. I
Yes,
don't think
keeping was
he could
excellent.
keep that well.
Hmm.
Again, all this adds up. Uh, It's just a small tweak that he has to do in his mentality. Just say, okay, I'm going to take down the balls that I can hit. I'm going to take down the bowlers that I can. Uh, Whatever happened in the 50 over World Cup finals, just let it be. I want him
Hmm.
to come as a new player. I hope I see something different in the Sri Lankan series uh, because he's capable of turning it around. 3 games, you can make a stellar impact. You can what do you say? Still turn it around. Still, there are people who properly watch cricket, keeping all those hate or bias aside. I think for people who watch cricket as the performance as they see, I think he's still able to turn it on. That is what I can say.
I think
Um,
if you keep the finals apart, the World
mm.
Cup finals apart,
He had
he
an
actually,
extraordinary tournament. Yeah, he had
yeah,
a great tournament.
not just from a keeping standpoint, even from a batting standpoint, he did very well when he came to bat. Be the last 5 overs where he had to, go from ball one he had to hit, or be it 15 overs where he took his time the first 10 balls and then he played some really good shots. I
The
think
game against
till
Australia actually proved it. The
exactly
first game at
him
Chapel.
and
That
Kohli,
was
yeah, we were two for three.
hmm,
But
he,
even one thing is when we were two for three, I still knew that this is perfect for KL Rahul, given how he used to play. Kohli obviously he can handle the situation. We know it pretty well. But I had that confidence. Okay, we have someone like KL Rahul who knows this is a situation. I have to take it slowly. Then, and I think we didn't even lose any wicket afterwards. I think we lost
no
only one wicket.
Kohli. Yeah, Kohli got out, and
Yeah.
he had a chance
So,
to score 100. In 93, he scored a six. Like his timing was
uh,
so good that
yeah,
so that is what I think. It's just unfortunate that that was a very slow inning, and we didn't have any more hitters to come and
I think yeah.
take it. Probably that
Mhm.
middle order of Dhoni and Raina, if we had, then it could have been a different thing. But again, we are. It was a once in a generation middle order. Then we had to
Mhm.
adapt according to the game, according to the change, according to the team. So talking about KL Raghulan, there are rumors that he's going to come to RCB next season. I don't know, like why RCB would make
I
such a.
saw I I saw a meme that he's the first person to get the job under the new Karnataka bill.
Yeah,
But again, I
that
don't. I think Duplessis is still playing for Texas Super Kings. No, he's doing pretty well. It seems there.
yeah,
But yeah, let's see. I think he's 40 now, 40 or 41. I don't think he's going to
41,
continue.
41. He's going to be 41 next season. Next season
Mhm.
being an mega auction, there were there'll be
That is
Kohli
interesting.
and Siraj will be
Yeah.
retention, two retentions, and I don't know how many retentions they are going to give, how many RTMs. There's nothing that we know
Mhm.
now. So
Yeah.
again, there was another punt to CSK. If punt to CSK means then that's the end of Dhoni for
Mhm.
CSK. But that is an entirely different topic for another
Topic.
podcast. Yeah, that so
And we can just go
coming.
on and go on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
that being said, I think this Sri Lankan tour is going to be a mix of temporary and permanent testings for few players.
Yeah.
It depends on the player
Mhm.
to see what Gambhir is
We
going
can also
to bring us
see.
to, because
Yeah,
that
exactly.
is my expectation for Gambhir is do something that McCallum did for England. Like there was a clear difference in approach
Mhm.
after McCallum came to England as a test coach. Came just go. That was complete. Them being successful or unsuccessful is going to be another topic. But I would like to see some changes, bring in approach and mindset, like in a collective, uh, the collective performance of the team being ruthless. That is what we saw from Gambhir as a player. So Gambhir as a
Mhm.
player has ticked few boxes. Gambhir as a manager, as a coach or a mentor for Lucknow Super Giants and Kolkata Knight Riders has ticked a few boxes. So I would like to see him transcend the same thing, because he has got three of the coaching assistants that he had wanted, despite BCCI rejecting the offer. He got in Ryan Tenderstedt from the by the looks of it, it's very close to Gambhir. Okay, fine. Then he's got Abhishek Nair, who also worked with him in KKR. Okay, fine. Then Mane Makal, who worked with them in Lucknow Super Giants, where we got to see player like Mayank Yadav come out, or Yash Dhul, or sorry, Yash Thakur, not Yash Dhul, Yash Thakur.
I think
Uh,
even Wasim Khan.
yeah, Mohsin Khan. So there were so many
Hey, Mohsin,
players.
I was impressed with Mohsin Khan. Every
Yeah,
time I watched him play, he's been pretty good.
so we saw the rise of Ravi Bishnoi, all those with Lucknow Super Giant. Then last season we saw with Gambhir there was a new approach to Sunil Narayan. So that is what I expect from a coach, because whatever the coach does is going to be off the field. It's not like football where you have a direct influence. It is going to be off the field. On the field, it's going to be entirely the captain's game. But this is what I expected, and also less number of. I don't know if we are going because Gambhir has already said that he does not work in believe in workload management and such things. So if it is going to be the case, then I would like to see our key players always be available for the big tournaments. We have seen India struggle because of the absence of players, especially in the World Test Championship. I don't say we were the favorites or we had a really good chance, but we had a 50-50 chance to beat Australia last time.
Both
We didn't
Australia
have
and New Zealand.
New
You know,
Zealand. New Zealand is a separate story.
at certain points in both of those games, we were ahead, and I
Yeah,
was thinking we could win
and
this. But yeah,
Jadeja was not there. They didn't select Ashwin in the playing 11. We didn't have
Bumrah was not there.
KL. Bumrah was not there. So despite being there, being these, we still managed to take the game to fourth inning. They were like, okay, fine. But whatever Chetan Sharma and others back in 2021, they said that we are going to look on the issue of players being injured. We are going to look at the issue of key players missing the important games because Bumrah didn't play the 2021 T20 World Cup. He didn't play the 2022 T20 World Cup as well. But again, then 2023 also he missed. So key players missing key games is a repetitive issue for India. 2024 World Cup, we had all the key players. We won the tournament. 2023, Hardik Pandya missed out due to injury and there was no proper replacement. Then we struggled in the finals because it was evident. My expectation as a fan who follows Indian cricket team would be to see some clear changes, like how you transform Narain from, you revived Narain back. You gave us Harshit Rana, Vaibhav Arora, all those players. Same thing. I would love to see from Gautam Gambhir and the other Indian coaching staff as to make sure that these don't happen again. That is the only wish that I have, and also some difference in approach. Like it shouldn't be something that we have seen like for the last 20-25 years. That wouldn't make any sense, right? Because we did win uh, three international trophies under MS Dhoni, but before that and after, there was a dry patch. There was long dry patch. So that would automatically credit MS Dhoni for being the man he is, for being the captain he is, that he is able to win. So I want to see either different players leading us to glory. These are the things that are far ahead. It could be wishful thinking from us, but that is what I expect. It should be a victory for the system, and it should not be a victory that individual gifts a nation, like someone like MS Dhoni and some three or four other key players who contribute with a bat or ball with their tactics. And I don't want that. I don't want a single player to hand us the victory. It then after the player leaves, you won't have anything. So that shouldn't be the case from Gambhir, and I hope he does it from game one. He shows that difference from game one. That is what I expect.
I think a clear template change we were able to identify in the 50-over World Cup as well as a 20-over World Cup. The last two editions before this, we saw how we approached the game.
Hmm.
The power plays were horrible to watch. With KL Rahul and Sharma opening, I don't remember us having one good power play except the Scotland game, right? So there has been a change. Obviously, we can't deny the fact that there has been a change, be it from Rahul Dravid or be it from Rohit Sharma himself. I remember him mentioning that there needs to be a change after we kind of exited the World Cup in the group stage, and we saw that in the World Cup 50 over as well, where Rohit Sharma was that guy who kept scoring. And then in the World T20 World Cup recently, we saw there was a template change. Even when we are losing wickets, everyone who came in was just looking to score runs as quickly as possible. I think that template doesn't need to change. It worked for us, and I think we have the batting depth to do that. Batting depth for Indian cricket will never be a problem. We already have the next crop of batsmen from number one to number seven, number eight. It's always the bowling which we always fear. And now that we have someone like Bumrah, it's like, okay, who's next after him? Yes, he has a good 5 6 years left, but given his bowling action, don't expect him to bowl for long. It puts a lot of strain on his body given how he bowls. But in terms of template, I think we found the right one.
Yeah,
Be it inspired from England, how they exited from the 2015 World Cup, went on to win the 2019 World Cup.
2019.
Yeah, so I think the template change is evident. We saw that it worked once. It almost worked in the 50 over World Cup. I think we can stick to that. He will obviously bring in his tweaks. He has that aggressive nature. Obviously, he's from Delhi. We saw how he plays it. He plays his cricket. He's someone who is straightforward. It could be a problem, dressing room
Hmm.
egos, clashes, so on and so forth. But I'm pretty sure they are grown ups enough to control that. It's a completely different personality from going from Rahul Dravid to Gambhir. But
Gambhir. Yeah.
in terms of these are professional cricketers, they should be able to control those clashes or whatever it is. In terms of template, yes, the base template is there. If he wants to add his own tweak of promoting a bowler as an opener, I don't see someone as technically good as Sunil Narine in our bowling. When it comes to
Hmm.
batting, I don't see probably probably Shami, but
Aksar. Aksar. Aksar.
no, as a pure bowler, right? Naren was
Yeah,
someone who
pure
was
bowler. There is no Wilson. Yeah, yeah.
Shami is someone who just swing his bat. If it hits, it hits. But yeah, Akshar, I don't
I,
think Akshar is a good
also, we
shout.
don't. I don't wish any pure bowler has to bat because, as you
Yeah.
said, there were 7, 8 batsmen who are ready to play, and
Hmm.
if they do their roles right, it won't be a problem for India. It is just
Hmm.
going to be like who is going to influence the consistency amongst the batsmen, who is
Hmm.
going to make the batsman, be it in the presence or absence of Rohit and Kohli, who is there to take it forward uh, in terms of consistency, purely in terms of consistency.
Hmm.
Who are the match winners? See, again, I would like to talk about the 2011 World Cup where we had Yuvi, Dhoni, and Raina. That middle order was unbeatable. That was the best middle order that we have seen till now. Like in terms of dynamics, you can do everything
Hmm.
with that middle order: finishing, anchoring, bowling, fielding, captain, wicketkeeper. We had. I'm not expecting us to get another this trio, but I'm
Hmm.
like so the impact from the middle order has to be really sound, especially in the 50 over formats that there shouldn't be a worry like if he's not there, if this person X player X is not there, what is going to happen? No, that shouldn't be the case. That has been the
Hmm.
case for Indian team over the last few years. No
Hmm.
Dhoni, then the captaincy, then Rohit Sharma came, he did well. No Kohli, who's going to fill up the number 3 spot? It shouldn't be like that. Only time has to tell the answer.
I think in terms of batting, we have moved on. Right.
Hmm.
We thought, when Sachin is going to retire, who's going to be next? We got Kohli.
Hmm.
If Kohli retires, we'll have someone who will step up.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
worried about the batting. It's as I said, it's the bowling which which makes you think. Okay, we can have a Moneyball perspective. If anyone has watched that
Hmm.
movie or understand the term Moneyball, if you can't replace just with Bumrah as a whole, replace him as parts. Bring in multiple bowlers who can do what he does.
Hmm.
But yeah, in terms of batting, I'm not worried. To be honest, I think the crop which is coming up, obviously, it's good. We have already have 3 to 4 players who are doing pretty well. But yeah, I think one good thing about Gautam Gambhir is the confidence which he has in the in the younger players, right? I think he gave that. We saw it with Raghuvanshi,
Hmm.
Angakrish Raghuvanshi, right? I think he was in the under 19 World Cup captain. I think
Harshit
he was the
Harshit
captain.
Rana. No, he wasn't the captain. He was a key player.
Yeah, but
I
yeah, I
guess.
think
Yeah.
he also did well in terms of
Hmm.
showing some promise. And obviously, Harshit Rana and Vaibhav Ballor as the two main bowlers, along with someone like Mitchell Stark. So yeah, that is one good thing that he kind of gives that confidence, and he is that character who you can look up to. He's not someone who or rather, he is someone who demands that respect because as a player, he has achieved everything.
Yeah.
T20 World Cup, he was there. 2011 World Cup, he was there. That 97, which he scored. Crucial, crucial, right? Because we lost Sehwag and Tendulkar within the first
Sachin.
10 hours.
Mm.
Yeah. And then he has that, as we say these days, that aura that he has. You look up to him. That respect is there, obviously. And the younger players will look up to him. So it is there only time will tell if we move on from the dependency on a few key players, and if we miss them, what happens to the team. And I think
It,
in terms
it's
of
either
batting,
it's either three ICC trophies or 300 Lafdas.
yeah, I
Or could be
mean,
both. Or could be both.
see,
Uh,
if you are winning, I don't care who is in the team and
I
who's
think he
not
has
in the team.
signed he has signed a 3-year contract, right? Like
Till
initially
2027
3 years.
World Cup.
2027 World Cup. Then we have
Yeah,
an ICC tournament every year. 2025 Champions Trophy.
2026. Yeah, T20
2025
World
we
Cup.
have the WTC. 2026
Mhm.
T20 World Cup. 2027. So there are
So we
four
have
ICC
four,
trophies that yeah that you
and then we
can
have
win.
the BJT, BGT. Sorry.
Yeah, BGT.
And
Uh,
obviously, I
in
hope we play
England
under.
to
We go to South Africa in this 3 years and play a test series there.
yeah yeah
That is something I want to
that
see.
will happen in 2026 or 2027. So I
Mm.
think he extends after that. So winning in
Yeah.
Australia with Bumrah uh, is going to be something interesting, and I hope Shami comes back by then.
Mm.
Shami, Siraj,
But
and
yeah, I think
Bumrah in Australia.
one thing which I would like to say, this is completely reactionary. Before I say this, I want to see Mayank Yadav bowling in Australia.
Yeah, and then there's maybe
just
as a
just for the
net bowler, like
yeah,
yeah.
I just want to see him
Maybe
ball.
if we are 4-0 up in the series, then we can see Mankadar for the Sydney Test.
Yeah, I want to see
That
him
will be
ball.
interesting.
At a place like, let's say, a Gabba, Perth.
But yeah. Or
Yeah,
max to max, he's going to be a net bowler.
yeah. I don't
Any
obviously
team
not
is.
going to play, but let's hope.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's just so good to see someone who can do that from someone who's seen in cricket and the ballers that they
Hmm.
have produced over the years to see someone who can
Yeah,
ball 150 plus
yeah.
and
Consistently.
consistently. And one thing is not someone like Umran Malik who's just going to bank in and ball at pace. He
Hmm.
has got
Hmm.
that control of line and length.
Hmm.
It's not just pure pace. Someone like Umran Malik or Sean Tate, if I had to bring in some ex players, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The wicket of he took off, I think it was Cameron Green. It's just so
The bouncer.
beautiful, just beautiful line and length with pace. It was obvious he was going to be injury prone, given he's putting so much strain on his body. But I hope he
Then it will be on Modern Mokkal's responsibility to
yeah.
like he's rumored to be the leading candidate for the
Hmm.
bowling
Hmm.
coach. So I think
Yeah.
him helping the Indian contingent to
Hmm.
produce fewer consistently good fast bowlers. Even it need not be the pacey ones. I'd say someone like another Shami or another Bowie,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
old version of Bowie, someone who can do that for India for the
We
next
have
5 or 6 years
Sandeep
would be
Sharma.
Sandeep Sharma is
Sharma is
also
someone very consistent.
he's consistent, but yeah, I don't think he'll be fancied for the ODIs or the T20s.
Stuff.
Given the other players who've done well,
Hmm.
let's see. We hope for the
And
best.
when it comes to Indian cricket, the
Hmm.
coaching staff's role is not to tell them or teach them how to play or how to
Hmm.
bowl or how to bat or how to field.
Just guide. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's maybe a few techniques here and there, but more or less it's just literally support stuff. Literally.
Hmm.
If you go
Support.
to someone like Afghanistan where Trot and Bravo are there he would literally teach how to play, how to bowl, how to plan, how to be calm. When it comes to Indian cricket, that is not there. Obviously, you have that pressure. It's like you literally have the best team in the world
Hmm.
on paper. You have everything you need, the facilities, the money, everything is there. You're not going to teach these players. they are doing it. You don't need them. You don't teach them. It's just, as I said, being the support stuff. So yeah, you know unless he brings that absolute negative energy into the team, where he's a polarizing figure. Let's be really honest, right? Gautam Gambhir is not that universally loved like Rahul Dravid. Okay, Rahul Dravid has it respect from every corner. Gambhir is not like that. So he is that polarizing figure. Until and unless there are this rifts within the team, I don't I see us winning at least two out of the four
Tournament. Yeah.
tournaments. I don't think
World.
we will win the WTC. Being really honest, given it's going to be in England, but at least the Champions Trophy, I am confident. If it's in Pakistan, which I highly doubt, if it's in Dubai or the UAE, I think we have a really good chance. And then obviously the T20 World Cup, I think we should be able to defend it, given we'll be having most of the squad except Rohit and Kohli. But yeah,
It is in India. It is held in India. 2026. It is held in India. Yeah. So that should, there
so
shouldn't
I
be
no
any more
comment,
questions asked. Yeah.
no comments. Yeah,
Yeah. So we saw
let's
2016.
see,
What
let's see
happened
what
in
he does. But
2016?
as I said, right, his job is straightforward. Every Indian coach's job is straightforward. As Rahul Dravid said, right,
Hmm.
his job is not to teach, not to tell what to do. It's about you know making those plans, making sure players are in the best frame of mind. I hope Gambhir does that. If you do that, if you give them the environment, I don't see anyone stopping this. To be really honest.
Yeah. So yeah. With that being said, I think we have reached the end of the podcast. I think we have discussed all the points that are necessary to be discussed about
Yeah,
the Sri
I
Lankan
think
tour and also the coaching
we have the
staff.
press conference tomorrow. If we get something
Hmm.
interesting, we can talk about that as well in the next one.
Yeah,
But yeah.
it's the first press conference as the head coach, right? So I think
Mm.
going to be something spicy like I am not one of the bottle. I think I am the special one. Something like that would be really good. Something like that from him will be really good. We'll see. And
Mm.
I'm eager to see what he has to say about omitting certain players because that question will definitely be raised. And
Mm.
I am eager to see what he has said about that. So the games I think start at 28th July, 28th or 26th July.
27,
So
27th, I guess. If I'm not wrong. But yeah.
27th. Yeah.
Mm. But there
So
has been a few fixture changes, if I'm not wrong. Dates have been changed.
mm,
I think for the ODIs, I'm not sure.
yeah. So I'm expecting rain, rain to
Yeah.
play some part of the, not completely abandoned or some games being cut short here and there because we saw it in the
Mm.
last Asia Cup happen,
Mm.
which
Mm.
was obviously in September and October. But I think that it's that time of the year that we regularly go to Sri Lanka to play. But this time tests were not included. That is something uh, surprising. But we have other tests like against Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. We are playing test matches, and then there are 5 test matches with Australia. So, as far as the tests are concerned, we are playing some. If I'm not wrong, 16 test matches before we. Or the 16th test match is going to be in Australia. Sorry,
The World Test
the
Championship.
World Test Championship, which I'm
Mm.
suspecting it's going to be against Australia again. But let's
Yeah.
see. So as far as the tests are not are concerned, it's not going to be a problem. The ODIs
Mm.
and T20s are not going to be a problem because there is now a big tournament that is coming up immediately.
Mm.
And yeah, so that being said, we've really reached the end of the podcast. And please stay tuned because we are having podcasts from other contents as well. We have previously published one on F1 and one on football. So there'll be another football podcast the coming weekend. So please stay tuned. And also an F1 podcast is being planned in this weekend. So that being said, yeah, thank you. We'll meet you again. Stay tuned for the podcast. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Abhi.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, bye.